What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Let's Take a Walk. She's got me laughing already. Another episode of Let's Take a Walk. I hope everybody had a dope week. I had a dope week. Um, Weather was kind of up and down, but such is life. Um, Again, we have another great episode to have. We have another great episode for you with another great and amazing guest. It's always a treat to have family on the show. Somebody who's from where I'm from, that sees what I see and knows about what I know. It's just an extra. It's just an extra. You know what I'm saying? I love every guest that comes on here, but when I got my peoples
The
on
Rock.
there, it's
Yes.
different. You know what I'm saying? It's the rock. My city, my city. We got Miss Kristi Hughes. She is an entrepreneur. She is a manager. She is just an all-around hustler extraordinaire. We're just gonna sit down with her and just kind of pick her brain about everything that she has going on. For those of you who may not be familiar with her or her movement, I'm going to give her the floor to kind of reintroduce herself and just give a little background on all that she has going on before we jump into this. So with that being said, floor is yours.
All right. I wanna first say thank you for this platform. I've seen you from the ground up, from scratch, start Let's Take a Walk. I remember you approached me maybe last year about coming on, and I told you I wasn't quite ready. I needed to first get some things planted and get my foundation made, and that we would link back up. And now is the time. So thank you for having me and thinking about me. So I appreciate it.
Okay.
So first, I just want to say I just launched my event planning business in September 2021. Rock My Event, ROC, my event. It just came to me. I'm from Rochester. I love Rochester. So I'm like, what can I name my company without putting my name in it? So
Right.
Rock My Event came. My son said he likes it, and he's my muse lately. Like if he says it's okay, it's all good. So I went with Rock My Event. It's a full service event planning from beginning to end. I just want my clients to be able to sit back, tell me their vision, trust me to make it happen, and relax and enjoy their event. That's what I'm here for.
Awesome. So, um, usually when people start businesses, it's based off of sometimes it's based off a disappointing experience. Maybe you were at an event and you were like, man, I could have did better than this, or the service wasn't as good as it could have been, or whatever. Um, is there is there a story attached to Rock My Event? Did you see a need? Did you see that something it was something the game was missing, and you wanted to put something in there? Or tell me about that, or tell
Well, I
us about
think
that.
event planning has just always been a passion since school. I've been planning the talent shows, the fashion shows, the Black History Month. You know, I was a part of all of that. Throughout middle school, high school, into college, and I've done some weddings, I've done some baby showers. I was doing it on a smaller, just organic scale for friends and family, and I just decided when COVID hit, we had time on our hands. It was something I always said I wanted to do, but I always made excuses about not having the time, being too tired. I'm raising my son, he comes first. Well, COVID hit, was no more excuses. It was time to become certified and get moving. And that's just what I did.
And that was another thing I found interesting. Like, so it said certified. How do you become a certified event planner?
Well, first you want to find a reputable course to take that is recognized by international community. So I found a website. They were offering the course. It is recognized internationally. I could fly to Paris and host an event as a certified event planner. So I took a course, took about 6 weeks to complete, had to pass with a 85% or higher. Same as any other course. Had to study, pass the test, and become certified. And I'm real proud of that, because a lot of people can put on a party, a lot of people can host an event, but to get the community's trust by saying I'm a certified event planner, I have the knowledge, I have the education behind me, and you can trust me.
So tell me, what makes Rock My Event different than other businesses that are like, or that do the same thing?
For me, it's just going to be the customer experience from the time of our first consultation to the time your last guest leaves. It's just the customer service that Rock My Event is going to provide you, and just bringing you a different experience. Like you said, I've gone to lots of parties. They hype you up with the flyer, and then when you get in, it's just flat. You're just there.
Right.
And I don't want to leave Rock My Event feeling flat, feeling like I just bought a new outfit for no reason. So I really want you to walk away with an experience, regardless how much it cost, regardless how big it was or small it was. You walked away feeling like I had a great time at that event tonight.
Wow. So far, how many events have you put together so far?
I would say officially under Rock My Event, I would say about 4. And I have some client consultations right now. I'm doing some active walkthroughs through venues for clients. So I get a lot of engagement, but sometimes when you start talking prices and everything that comes under the umbrella of pulling off an event, some people get scared away. Mm-hmm. Some people aren't ready just yet. Sometimes they just have questions. So like I said, I'm really just building my brand. I'm building my trust with the community. I'm building my education about the event industry. It did fall off in 2020. So it came back, but in a different way too. There's a different type of way to throw events. There's micro events now. So the industry changed a little bit, and I want to make sure I'm always ahead of the curve.
Wow. Okay. So what's your favorite part?
I think the reveal. It's having all these talks with your client, going back and forth, them checking on you because they don't really trust that you're going to pull off their vision. And then once they walk into the room and it's the reveal, if you get the tears, if the hugs, just the burden off their back, okay, now I can relax. This is exactly what I wanted. This is my vision. And now I can go dance and party and relax. That's the best part for me. Wow.
Shout out to Yasin Shabazz. He wanted to know how important is social media, how important is utilizing social media to promote your events?
Well, that's one thing I had to learn. Prior to starting Rock My Event, I was not on TikTok. I was not on Instagram. I just felt like I didn't need those. There was more for the kids, dances, doing what they do. But starting a business and really becoming serious about it, I recognize the power of social media. So it has been a key in Rock My Event meeting its target audience, really. I mean, through the website, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I mean, I wouldn't have the followers I have. I wouldn't have people trusting to come to my event. I wouldn't have vendors signing up with me. So yeah, social media has been key.
Okay.
and I'm
So,
still learning. I'm learning every day.
so what is something about yourself that's what have you learned about yourself that you didn't know prior to um, beginning this process, embarking on this whole thing?
I was a lot more patient than I give myself credit for. I always say I'm real impatient. I want things now. I can be selfish in some ways. So I think just starting this business and doing it by myself. Yes, I have friends and family that are my cheerleaders, but at the end of the day, this is solely coming out of my pocket. So I think just that it's made me realize how patient I really have been because waiting until 2021 to launch, that was patience. I thought I should have had it sooner. I should have had this years ago. I should have did this 10 years ago. But being patient and trusting my God let me know I'm right here at the right spot at the right time.
So tell me about your team. Is there a team attached to this, or are you a one stop shop at this point?
I am like Martin and Roscoe Jenkins. Right now, it is a team of me. Like I
Okay.
said, I definitely have friends and family who, if I need them, they're right there. But I do not have employees. I just have friends and relatives that help a sister out. But if I ever needed a team, I know that I could always outsource if really needed. Um, I am official LLC, have my EIN, so if I did need to hire employees, I know how to properly do that. I know how to do payroll, so I can take care of that internally myself. So right now, it is a team of me. I'm kind of being my own content creator. I'm kind of being the Tyler Perry of Rock My Event. I'll just say that. I will say that.
Got you. So what is the ultimate? What's the ultimate goal for Rock My Man?
Well, my niche is kind of networking and launch events as well as children's parties. So children's parties, that's pretty easy. Everyone has a child or a grandchild. So reaching that target audience is pretty easy. But I'm also trying to reach out to like-minded minority business owners
Mhm.
who are looking to link up in a bigger way. And that's where my networking events come in. I have an upcoming self-love event, February 12th, Roses and Rosé. And the reason why I have these networking events is because there aren't a lot of spaces that are just women owned. I mean, let's be honest, this is a male dominated world. So
Mhm.
being able to get all women in the same room, it doesn't normally happen. You have to make it happen.
Right.
So I just really want to be a liaison between that small business owner and her target audience and putting them together. And that's what I want my events to do. The dream is to be able to grow this so big that it's a big women's expo. I have to
Mm.
turn down business owners that want to, vend at my events. That's the dream, to just become so big that like I can be at the fairgrounds
Mm.
hosting an event. That's how big I want it to be. So
Wow.
right now, we're like mom and pop. We're starting out, first year of business, but I do look to grow, and I'm just happy that I have people out there that really trust me already.
Wow. That's really awesome. And the fact that, like you said, it's basically a male dominated um field.
I
Um
think just about every field. I mean,
but that's surprising. That's surprising. Like event planning, I think about weddings, and when I think about weddings, I think about women. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's really That's
And
really
when
surprising
I
to me.
meet people and I tell them about Rahman event, I've even heard people say, "Well, who's in charge?"
Mm,
So they already don't believe just from engaging with you that you could be the CEO, the owner. This is your idea, this is your baby. So yes, I've been asked, well, who's in charge? So it's been interesting, and I know it's harder for women to get, loans when we walk into banks. It's
mhm.
hard. Investors don't normally trust women as much as they would do a man with a solid business plan. So it's just some hurdles we have to, climb. But like I said, I want to be a liaison in that. You know, Minority women, they are really out here building businesses, and I want to be a part of it. I want to tap into
Wow. And anytime I have um, women business owners on the show, I always ask the question like, do you really recognize and understand how groundbreaking what it is you're actually doing? Do you ever sit back and for even if it's just for a minute and just really recognize what it is that you're actually like doing? Like, I'm running a business. I'm running an event planning business at that. So
it.
basically, I'm putting legs on people's dreams and their visions. You know what I mean? And
Right.
again, like you said, being a woman of color, you know what I'm saying? That adds a whole nother aspect to it. Like, are you a stop and smell the roses type of person, or are you just like you finish this project and on to the next and on to the next and on to the next?
No, I'm definitely stopping and smelling the roses. Hence my Roses and Rose self-love event coming up. The event is solely just to show your self-love, empower yourself. Um, just know that you come first all the time. We have kids, we have spouses, we have loved ones, but you come first. So yes, as a Black woman, I have stepped outside and looked in, and I'm just super proud of what I've done, but also what I've seen countless women around me do, which has motivated me. Like that has, like I said, I know COVID was like a little fire under my butt, but also surrounding myself with women who were also launching their business, women who were relaunching their businesses, women who are just writing down goals and trying to manifest through vision boards. Like just having all those women around me have just inspired me so much. So yes, I stop, I smell the roses, I tell those around me who have helped me, thank you.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I'm working hard too.
Okay. Yasin says, do you use photography or video to shoot your events?
I do work with some videographers. I have a couple on my vendor list. I don't have a resident person as skilled as him. And I just
Hmm.
want to shout out Yasin. He's been a long time friend,
Yes,
supporter,
sir.
hype man. So I just want to give him a big shout out because he's a real good friend and he's always there for me.
Yes, sir.
But yeah,
So,
he needs to move to Florida to be that person for me. Yes, thank you.
oh, he needs to move there just to be that person for you.
Those are the type of friends I
That's what's up.
have.
Okay, that's what's up. So,
But just to piggyback off that, that's one thing. As far as me being an event planner, I reach out to so many different people on behalf of my clients. So that's what I'm doing right now is building a vendor list. So when I have clients that come to me, I know what venue to go to for their budget. If they say they need a photographer, videographer, I have 3 or 4 of those. If you need a mobile bartender, I have those. If you want beautiful balloon garlands, I have that. I just whatever you need, I want to be able to already have that in my vendor log, so I don't have to spend more time in research. So that's what these networking events are doing as well, aligning all of us up to be able to engage and use each other and make each other contacts and ultimately get money. That's at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do, drive revenue. And if I can help the next woman or man do that, that's what Rock My Event is here for.
Awesome. So when you look, you're relatively new to this realm of business.
Right.
But up to this point, when you look at all the things that you've experienced up to this point, all the things that you've been able to accomplish, and all the, not even just accomplished, but all the things that you've just experienced up to this point, were you ready?
Yes. This is the most ready. This is the most, because I've had other responsibilities in the past that I wouldn't have had the time that this has taken. And I would have started and then stopped, and then that in itself would have pushed me away from it. So yes, this was the right time. This was the perfect time. This is when they say what God has for me, He has for like that. This is Rock My Event. Yes, the timing is perfect.
That's really awesome. You made me forget what I was gonna ask.
I'm about to stop a second and put on some of my Kisses by Courtney Hughes lip gloss. Another plug.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Plug for my homegirl. Kisses lip gloss by Courtney Hughes. Get you some.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to Courtney King, is it? Is that what you say? Courtney King?
Courtney Keys.
Key?
Keys. Yeah.
Okay, Courtney Keys. Okay. Shout out to Courtney Keys.
Yes.
Black business. Love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yes.
So you said that you were totally prepared. You felt like you were prepared for this time and this moment.
Yes.
You allude to COVID. You know, COVID being the catalyst, being the thing that gave you the enough time, gave you the time and the desire to do what you're doing now.
Right.
Now that you're in it, how has COVID affected how you do business, if it has at all?
Naturally it has, because events equal gathering. But events are coming back a little smaller, a little more homegrown. People are doing more patio, backyard, picnics. So, like I said, it's gone in a different direction, but if you're trying to stay ahead of the curve, you already saw that coming.
Right.
Because when COVID first hit, what did restaurants do? They came up with these kind of bubble tents that they sat outside and put people in. The same thing with events. You gotta just switch up when things happen. You gotta be an agent of change, and you gotta be ready. So, like I said, I think because I came in once COVID hit, I was able to watch the industry kind of switch over and change. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna hop on, get on, and travel this train with them. So that's what I've been trying to do. Just bring a different experience. So I've been looking overseas at types of events that they're doing in Australia, in the UK, and I'm just trying to do something different. I mean, how many white parties can we have? Let's keep it real. How many white parties can we have?
Right.
Let's change up the experience.
Right.
That's what my event is here to do.
So how, like on an average, like how much of the event is your vision versus the person that's coming to you for the business or for giving you the business? Is it more so I'm coming to you saying, hey, I'm trying to do a 90s party. Um, I wanted to be about 80 people. You know what I'm saying? I want a DJ, blah, 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 blah. How much of it is you, as far as the putting together part, how much of it is you
I
versus
think
the person?
I think it's how much control you want to relinquish to me. Some
Mhm.
people know the theme they want, but they don't really know how to make it happen. And so they give it all to me and say,
Mhm.
I trust you. I told you what I wanted. I'm going to walk in on that day. I know I'm going to be happy. Other people are right there on you every 2 days. Did you do this? Show me what this looks like. Send me a mood board. Send me this. So it really depends on the client. Some want to step away and allow you to do it. That's the beauty of it. But some
Mhm.
people want to be more involved and they want to see what you're doing as you're working and they want checks and balances. And I'm fine with that too. That's pretty much established during our first consultation. So
Mhm.
I kind of will know what we're working with.
That's awesome. So, as far as your background, like, we're from the same place. We grew up in the same place. Um, what do you think the influence of new, I'm trying to frame this question correctly. Um, what influence has your being from New York had in what you doing now? Is it, or better yet, coming from the North, going to the South? Um, what's the reception like? Just in the just for that aspect alone, because I can tell you that I I graduated high school in Florida. My last two years of high school were in Florida. So being in a place where they don't talk like me, they don't dress like
Right,
me, they don't
right.
do anything like me, I can tell you that there was some difficult moments.
Yeah.
So has that played a role in your successes or some of the challenges you have in this business?
I think moving down from Rochester to Tampa as an adult um, definitely plays a role because you have to learn to depend on you.
Hmm.
And while yes, I did have family that were in Tampa, I still had I moved down by myself, um, and just had to make it happen and figure it out. And like I said, I did have family and friends here, but you get a little bit of a chilly reception because
Hmm.
you sound different.
Right.
Um, you're saying sneakers and not tennis shoes.
Right.
You
Yeah.
say pop instead of soda.
Right. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
it's immediately where are you from, and 21 questions right off top. So it was a little bit of a chilly reception, but I think it just made me depend on me and know that I had to figure things out. I had to have the answer. So it gave me a lot of confidence though, because I always had to walk into rooms by myself. I couldn't
Mhm.
depend on, oh, somebody needs to go with me or a friend has to come with me to feel comfortable. I didn't have that luxury. So I had to walk into a lot of rooms by myself, but I'm so glad of that right now. Yeah.
That's awesome. So let's shift gears a little bit. You talked a bit about rock my event, but you also wear one or two other hats. Um, so you are also a momager, a
Yeah.
mother that's a manager. Tell us a little bit about that.
Let y'all see that Google record real quick.
Yeah, I see that over 500,000 sold. Listen, that's what's up. Listen, that's awesome. So what's that? Tell us a little bit about that.
That was just for all the people who thought we were capping, because you know it's a lot of people who really don't believe that my son is out here really making music.
Okay.
So, so we chose this as the perfect backdrop for
Okay.
this interview today.
Okay.
but
Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad. Okay, I got you.
but naturally, I think as a momager, you fall into this. It's already your role. You're gonna look out for your child's best interest.
Mhm.
Naturally, I've just taken it a step further by just really educating myself on the music industry. Like I bought and read books, have not quite finished them yet, but I
Mhm.
have bought and read books. I did a one-on-one session with Sonia Norwood, which
Wow.
most of y'all would know her as Brandy and Ray J's
Wow.
mom.
Mhm.
Yes, like via her website, sonyanorwood.com, she offers virtual classes, one-on-one classes for parent managers.
Mhm.
And coming into this with no knowledge of just the music industry itself, but always hearing of the negative things that can happen, especially to children or young adults, I definitely wanted to be involved, but not be overbearing. I don't want to be a stage mom, you know. He's an adult, and I definitely let him make his own decisions. I just try to help steer him in certain directions, and that's being a momager.
You have you found that your professions or the hats that you wear intertwine? Like, do they ever intersect? Do they ever cross paths?
They have. Naturally, there's events that may be calling for artists, producers, you know, poets, writers, just anyone come on out. So naturally, I'm going to link him up, link my son up with that type of event to align him with his target audience. Right now, we're really trying to push his music into TV and film. So engaging with as different, many diverse artists from different backgrounds is exactly what we need right now.
Wow.
So I think with my event planning and his music production, it can mesh. It hasn't quite did that yet, but I see the two worlds definitely coming together.
Absolutely. Have you gotten to? I often ask this question too. Like, who, if anybody, who are you most surprised to find out was aware of your son?
Hmm. I don't know. That's kind of interesting because he showed me a couple videos of people, you know, like vibing to songs he's made, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, oh, okay. You know, I'm trying to think. I would say maybe like I know he's real hot right now, but I would say like Kodak Black.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Um, he's posted a couple of videos listening to this Hot Boy song, like just vibing out. So that's a real big deal.
So, are you musically inclined at all?
I didn't catch that.
I said, are you musically inclined at all?
I wouldn't know. I can't play any instruments or anything like that. I know you can hold a couple notes yourself, but I'm not that lucky.
Yeah.
I'm not that lucky.
So what's the goal? First of all, what's your son's? What's his name? What's his company name? What's his name?
K Hendricks, you can find them on all platforms. K Hendricks Productions. What he's working on is just building trust, finding artists that are ready to work.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people reach out and they're not ready to work.
Right.
Um, and our prices are going up every day. So if you want to be down, like, I keep trying to tell people, like, if you want to be down, like, get down now, because
Right.
we've already seen people that we've tried to reach out to and they didn't give us the time of day. And then when this happened, phones started ringing. And
Wow.
I'm the type of petty where I'm not going to answer that phone.
Mm.
So it's like, get on now while we making moves, because like once he like hit, it's gonna be too late.
Mhm.
So holla at him. Like I said, you can reach him, K Hendricks, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the music platforms. He actually has music on Apple. Just put in K Hendricks, download, share,
Mhm.
add to your playlist, all that.
Wow.
And download Hot Boys Don't Need Time.
So I got the same question for your son. Is he coming from New York to Florida? Was that a challenge for him?
No, he is Florida born.
Okay.
So he's a Florida boy right here. I feel like I've given him a little New York flavor. You
Okay.
know, he was 2 years old listening to
Yeah.
Nas. You're going to get this Nas.
Right. Right.
So I feel like he has a little New York flavor, and that even comes out in his music, you know. So he didn't have to make that transition, luckily. But I think it's still been a little bit of a challenge, especially when you don't have a foot in. If you
Mhm.
already don't know someone, or you're not related to someone, or your wealth can't get you in the door. Like
Mhm.
when you really just are starting from scratch, it's a little tough, you know, as with everything.
But I think you know what, in this era that we're living in now, it's like you guys are really in a really good position because you don't have to answer to anybody. You're not under any particular umbrella. You're not, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to you're not being forced to make a particular type of music or style of music. You can pretty much do what you want, as much as you want, how you want, where you want. You can place it where you want. I think this is really the era of the independent artists in every shape, way, shape, or form. So,
Hmm.
with that being said, I wouldn't be discouraged because, you really are in a very enviable position. You're a lot further ahead than a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's not that day where you stand outside the record company singing doo-wop, hoping that somebody, you know what I'm saying, comes out and checks you out
Listen
or
to my
whatever.
demo. Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Please, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Please listen to my demo. It's not that day anymore. So you can literally do something in your bedroom and press one or two buttons, and it's
Yeah. You could be a
automatically two
star
million
tomorrow.
people.
Yeah.
Right?
I've
Exactly.
seen it. I've
Next
seen it.
Soldier Boy. So
Yeah.
that's what's up. So Momager, um, what has that brought out of you? What was there? What has that brought out of you that you may not have seen in yourself prior to? Is it hard to differentiate between business and family? I mean, that's got to be really tough at points.
I would say for me, it has not been tough because everyone who is around me has been around. So I haven't got any of the fakeness. Maybe we're not big enough yet for that fakeness to come out. Maybe we haven't been big enough yet, but I haven't experienced that yet. So I'm happy about that. I mean, unfortunately, you can't take everyone with you. Of course, there are estranged family members, or some you don't talk to as often, or some you would like to hug a little more often. You want them to enjoy in what's going on, but just unfortunately, due to life, it doesn't happen. So we really haven't had the fakeness within the family yet. We'll see if this turns into platinum wax. No, I'm just playing.
So tell me, who has been your, whether it be being a manager or whether it be in Rock My Event or just generally, who would you say has been your biggest influence up to this point?
Influences, I would say momagers like Tina Douglas, Ashanti's mom. I mean, you may all hate the Kardashians, but Kris Jenner does her job and she understands the assignment. So I just think over the last few years, I've just been looking at these women who came in when there wasn't really a game plan. You know, when Sonya Norwood came in, there wasn't a momager game plan. And now she's helping people like me understand that there is structure. There are things that you should be doing in a chronological order to really get things done. So I've just been looking at just all types of influential women within all industries, finance, just entertainment, like just women in general that are just bossing up is just inspirational. And I'm seeing it across the globe. And I'm glad that like big business is finally taking notice and we're getting investors, we're getting grants, and I'm happy about that. And I wanna be a part of that.
Wow. You've alluded to the fact that you, a girl, that I get that whole girl power vibe from you. You know what I'm saying? That whole woman empowerment thing. And I mean, I'm with it. I'm with it. I get it 100%. Is that something that you've always carried, or is that something that you just kind of realized as you got older?
Yeah, I think I've always carried that. I've always wanted like a bunch of sisters. I've always been like kind of pseudo jealous if I seen like 5 or 6 sisters. I'm like, man, I want a bunch of sisters. You know, I'm gonna grow up and be in a sorority, like just to have that collaborative effort. So yes, I've always liked being around like-minded women. I mean, who doesn't? If you know, if you can sit down with women and break bread, get up and be inspired, I want that every day. So I think I've just always taken the love for the sisterhood and I'm just trying to take it to the next level. So that's why my networking events are normally geared toward women. Not saying that everyone will be, but that's where my heart is with my ladies. So that's who I'm always hyping up. That's who I'm here for.
Okay. So in addition to everything that you're doing right now, what else do you have going on that we may not have touched on so far?
Well, outside of the 9 to 5 and then the 5 to 9, and all the side hustles. For me, I'm just education. I'm constantly learning how to build my brand, marketing strategies. Like I said, still learning the event industry and what direction it's headed so that I can be ready. Um, just engaging. I think a lot of people are scared to engage with their competition, but I've found it very rewarding. I will reach out to a direct competitor and say, where did you get that from? You know, and 99.9% of your competition doesn't mind helping you out. So I just challenge everyone to follow and engage with your direct competition because
Wow.
that can inspire you. Not copy them, not do exactly what they're doing, but follow them to engage, ask questions, and be inspired.
Wow.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wow.
So that's really what I'm trying to do right now. Learning TikTok.
Okay. Okay.
Like honestly, like this has been like new for me. So
Learning TikTok. Oh, that's okay. That's
seriously,
interesting. That's
you
interesting.
know, like posting on TikTok and doing reels. you know, sharing your story, hashtagging, all of that is built into the algorithm that could possibly place you in front of your target audience. So you really should be thinking about doing all of that as you start a new business. Like I said, just launch your business and get it all pretty later. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. I launched, I'm official, and now I'm just getting it all pretty, organized, and looking good.
This is another question that I ask a lot of people. In your process, whether it be, event planning or managing your son or being, in all these different launching business, you have sometimes you have two groups of people. And let me tell you, they're not haters. They're not haters. They genuinely love you. They genuinely have your best interests at heart. But on one side, you have the group that says, Kristi, I know some people who did what you're doing now, but it really didn't work out for them. They lost a lot of money, they lost a lot of time, they lost their shirts. You know what I mean? I, I don't know if you should be doing this, right? But then on the other side, you have these people who will say, Kristi, you are dope. You should be way further than what you are. You need to get out on TikTok and do this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. Get on YouTube, do some YouTube videos, da, 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 da.
Right.
You need to be up there with the Sonya Norwoods and the Tina Douglases of the world. So basically, you have one side that's saying you're doing too much, but then you got the people on the other side that are saying you're not doing enough.
Right.
Have you found yourself in the middle of that dynamic yet? Have you experienced that at all?
I would say not too much because I move in silence. I share very little, and I pick and choose who I share with so that I can avoid those pitfalls. Because naturally, the more people you share with, the more opinions you will receive. But that's not to say I have not come up against my dream killers. Yes, the people who, like you said, you tell them about your goals, what you want to manifest, your dreams, and they say, oh, well, there's already 3-4 people out there doing that. So they just kill your dreams. And then, like you said, you got the other side that's like checking your timeline. Like, oh, didn't you launch 6 months ago? You don't got no clients yet?
Right.
You're not throwing Diddy's parties yet? Like,
Right.
So, yeah, I get it. But that's why, like I said, I move in silence. I keep a lot of things to myself. I'm just in the background doing.
Okay. Christopher Hosmack, he wants to know what you're drinking in your cup.
This is actually water. Yeah.
See? That's water.
I promise.
Shout out to Chris. That's water, son. Sorry.
Does anyone else have questions?
Yeah, real questions, right? But yeah, I always find that interesting, even in my process. You have, people on either side, and they really believe that, they have your best interests at heart, and it really will cause you to second guess what you're doing. This podcast was birthed out of the pandemic as well. It's something that I always kind of daydreamed about doing, but it wasn't until this opportunity came that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this. So I got a ring light. I had one ring light, and I shout out to my man Larry Miles. He was my first ever guest. He's a comedian, and we've been rocking ever since. But absolutely.
Yeah. I've seen multiple interviews, lots of our Rochester classmates. I'm proud of all of them. So, like I said, I'm glad to be joining the platform. I feel like we've got a little Rochester community going on here.
Yes.
Sorry to those
Absolutely.
not from the Rock, but you know.
Absolutely. So tell me, uh, what's the most common misconception that people have about you, that you found that people have about you?
I guess that I'm a little introverted, which I guess I can be. But, I think we all like time to ourselves. Sometimes you don't want other people around. You just want to do you. So I think a lot of people think I'm a little introverted, but I'm very much a social butterfly. I like to communicate. I feel that I can walk into any room, sit down at any table and feel comfortable. That's how high my confidence is. So I just feel sometimes people think I'm introverted, maybe a little standoffish until they really come up to me, because I don't walk around with a smile. I've been going to get gas and you're getting men that say smile or smile. And it's like, I'm thinking about my budget.
Right, right,
I'm not trying to smile while I'm pumping gas. So I think,
right.
not wearing a smile on your face sometimes you can come off as a little, standoffish or whatnot. So I think that's a misconception, but I'm definitely a talker. Just come up, approach me, and it's all good.
Wow. Like in high school, I always kind of looked at you as kind of an in crowd type of person. Were you that?
I felt like I was pretty popular. I mean, I think by participating in a lot of activities that help when you're a cheerleader, when Miss Johnson knows you by your first name
Mm,
and requests you to volunteer for every event that the school is going to have.
right.
I feel like that for me helped me be in the in crowd, if you will call it that.
Hmm.
The one thing I did love about Wilson was the diversity.
Hmm.
It wasn't like just the black crowd or just the white crowd. Like we were all together
Right.
and it was dope.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So high school was like the best for me. Like I missed the Wilson hallways. Like we had the most fun. Yeah.
Right. I actually cried when I had to leave. Like,
When you leave.
yeah, like I still to this day I still feel like something's missing. You know what I
And it's
mean?
weird because when you said you moved, I was like, you didn't graduate? Like you didn't walk the stage with us?
Mm-mm.
Like I don't remember that.
Yeah. I always kind of that was always kind of one of my regrets. I really felt like I said, to this day I still feel like there's a piece missing. But such is life. I had
Right.
to follow my family, but it is what it is. Um, Now we see what people. You said that you're the most common misconception that people have about you. What will people be most surprised to know about you that they may not know already?
Let me see what I want to tell y'all. It doesn't have to be business related, right? It could just be
Nah,
anything.
nah, anything.
Like I sleep with a nightlight. I guess that might be a big
Really?
for some people. Like you still got a nightlight? Yes, I do.
Wow.
But no, I also say I'm pretty bad at not I'm not bad at reading books. I'm bad at finishing books. I have like
Me,
7
me,
books I've
me,
started
me.
since 2020. I was like, oh, I have all this time with COVID. I'm working from home. I'm gonna start all these books, and now I have like 6, 7 books that all just have tabs in the middle and nothing's finished. So I'm really bad at that, and I gotta do better with that.
I got a good question for you. Speaking of high school, and of course, you don't have to answer, but
Uh-oh.
it would be. I always ask this. when I have people on, like I have Rob Dixie, I asked him, Vernon,
Uh-oh.
all of them. I think Camille, I had them all. I asked them all. So I'm gonna ask you. Um, was there anybody that you had a crush on that you never got the opportunity to come clean to it, I guess, for lack of better words? Was there anybody that you felt got away?
I don't think the couple of crushes that I did have, like they were aware. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, but I don't feel like someone got away or there's someone who I wish I would have told. Yeah, no. I was
No?
like so cool with everyone. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It was hard for me
Okay.
to like find a boyfriend in all the homies. Like,
Hmm.
mm.
Wow. See,
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
I, I didn't come. I guess I didn't come into my own until I got much older because during that time I was very, very. Uh, I was
Quiet.
what? Yeah, I was very quiet too, very quiet, shy, and all of that. So I didn't really come into my own until probably I got out of high school. And even then, but
Right.
but
That's a crazy question. But have you gotten some names?
uh, I think everybody pretty much played it safe. Like
Yeah.
I, I want to say Rob was gonna say somebody, but he did. I remember
Okay.
he didn't say anybody himself, but he did mention somebody, and I did agree because she was super cool.
Okay. I
And
like it.
Meet the Paul,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, she was like super super cool.
Good
But he
people.
didn't.
We need to have a reunion.
Absolutely,
Like honestly.
absolutely, absolutely.
And I can plan
Yeah,
it.
exactly, exactly, exactly.
I like that.
Um,
So what are you up to? I see you, designing sneakers.
that's honestly that's more so of a hobby. It was
Got
something that a coworker was doing it, and he decided he didn't want to do it anymore, so he gave me all the equipment.
mm.
So I started just. I love sneakers. Like if I took this camera upstairs to my closet to my thing, you would shake your head
Ridiculous.
probably. So it just kind of it was something I was curious about. So I just started messing around and I started getting kind of good at it. So I started taking pictures of it or whatever.
Right.
I put it this way: I've given away more shoes than I've actually like sold to
Tried to
anybody.
sell.
Um, but more so, um, I do music. I do teach. Like this is one of my t-shirts, Faith Over Fear.
Nice.
That's really my I guess bread and butter. That's the thing that I really really am into. I love doing that. Um, and I love doing this. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of the thing that I want to do, because I look at people like you and others that I've had on the show, you know what I'm saying, that may not have the backing or the name that some others may have. And so I consider it an honor to be able to be a part of your journey, to say, hey, look at Kristi, look what she's doing. This is dope.
Thank you.
She may not have the name that some other people have, but now you know about her. So you know what I'm saying? When she blows, when she does becomes into
I
the
appreciate it.
fullness of what she is, you know what I'm saying? You can be like, yeah, I was up on that in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
and
And how
and
can
it's
we find your music?
my music is on anywhere that you stream music, Spotify, Apple Title. that whole thing, just Mike Robinson, he's able, and it a bunch of my music everywhere.
All right, y'all hear
It's
that? Go
huh?
support your boy.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But
No problem.
just overall, man, I really celebrate, like I said, like you, I'm a fan first. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of what you're doing. I'm a fan of what you're doing for your son. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of anybody who takes the initiative and has enough courage to step out and say, okay, I want to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do this thing. Now I may not be have a big company or sponsorship or anything behind me, but I'm going to get into this arena and I'm going to do it because I have something that maybe the other people don't have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I admire that. That takes a lot of courage, especially again being from a whole totally different place where you don't necessarily have that built-in fan base like you were alluding to earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, I hope I answered your question, but
What?
I really, I really am a fan first, and I think it's dope that I'm able to be a fan and benefit from being a fan too.
You're
So
crazy. I appreciate it.
yeah,
And I
this
do want to say that I feel like even though we haven't seen each other in forever, I feel like my Rochester family still like just ride for me. Like all the
absolutely,
time. Like I feel like I get
absolutely,
more love from Rochester than I do from Tampa. And that's all
absolutely,
good. That's
absolutely.
all good. But I just want to let everyone out there know I love them. I still represent. I see y'all. I see the likes. I see the comments. I appreciate it. I get DMs, and I just love it. So thank you, everybody.
This is my last official question for you. This is a question that I ask all of my guests. Once I ask you, just take a moment, think about it, and give me the best and most honest answer that you can possibly give. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Here's the question: what would have to happen in your life if it hasn't happened already for you to consider your life a success? What does success look like to you, for you?
Waking up every day happy to do what I want to do. Waking up and being able to perform a job that I'm passionate about. Not just one that pays the bills, not just one that gets you by, but one that doesn't even feel like work because you love to do it. That's the level that I need to get to. But when I wake up, it's not even work.
Right. Right.
It's
Wow.
love. It's not work. It's love.
Wow.
That's my.
I lied to you. I got one more question for you.
It's all good. We not time. We
Okay.
good.
Is it a challenge day to day with everything that you have going on, everything that you're doing? Is it a challenge for you to still know who you are from day to day? Um, is it who do you know? Is it hard for you to know who you are when you look in the mirror? Are you able to block out the things that you do as opposed to
I think when you get busy, naturally you start to ignore yourself. But one thing that I've been very conscious about is my self-love. So in previous years, I probably haven't paid it as much attention, and I've put everything and everything else to the forefront and left me behind. But I've changed that order. Now I come first. So I think it is easy when you try to wear all these hats. Somebody gonna get left behind. The spouse, a child, the job. Something's gonna be left. So you have to just learn time management, how to organize yourself and your thoughts as well. You may need to write things down. You might need to calendar them. You need to find just the best time management tool for you. So yes, I think it is kind of easy to lose yourself, but you really need to just look in the mirror and say, if I'm not here, if I'm not present, if I'm not taking care of me, how good is my business going to be?
Right. Because it's easy to fall into that mode where, especially in terms of how, not necessarily you yourself, but how other people see you. Like you easily fall into that mode. You're Kay Hendricks mom. You know what I'm saying? Or you're the rock the event lady, rock my event lady. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? People are judging you
Yeah.
or identifying you rather by what you do as opposed to who you actually
who you are. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that just comes from, like I said, knowing who you are, taking care of yourself, the confidence that you walk into that room with. If you're not walking into that room with confidence, vultures will pick you apart. They're gonna know it immediately. They can tell from your shoulder. You know, so the way you walk into a room, it gives people an immediate sign of how they're gonna relate to you.
Right.
So you just need to walk in confident, head up, ready to engage. And, you know, you should look at everyone as they could be a potential contact. Every conversation that you have can be a potential contact or a potential client. You just gotta open your mouth. You know, that's one thing. It's been a challenge for me. I've been out, say with my mom, having a full conversation with a stranger, and my mom has to nudge me like, "You're gonna give her a business card?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I got a business."
Right.
So it's you know, it's a change. It's a struggle. I like I said, I'm still in my educational phase. I don't know it all, and I'm okay with saying that. You know.
Wow. Okay. So if I'm an aspiring event planner or I'm an artist looking for a producer or I just want some guidance about launching business, you know, what do I need to do? How can I get in touch with you?
The website, rockmyevent.com, Facebook page, Rock My Event, Instagram, ROC _ my event. Just holla. You know, sometimes you may need a mentor. You just may need someone to partner with, someone to sit down with a notebook and just go over goals. Whatever it is, just reach out. It may not be me. Reach out to someone within your industry, someone who you aspire to be. Reach out to them.
Wow.
So I think we got, you know, closed mouths don't get fed. So reach out, engage.
That's what's up.
Follow, support. You know, a lot of people follow and then you don't hear from them. And I don't get that. So if you're gonna follow, like engage, talk, ask some questions, ask what you do. How did you get here? What type of education do you have that got you here? Like, you know, just ask questions.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. So that, you know, that was my last official question. I didn't, you know,
Sure,
I
I think we
learned
got
a
one
lot.
more official question.
No, I don't. I promise. I promise.
You good.
I just want to say thank you. The time just kind of flew by. I just want to thank you for coming on. I really, you know, I really appreciate you coming on. And I appreciate you allowing me to be a part of your journey. Um, and I wish much blessings on everything that you have, you know, going on and coming up as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
And again, like I said, it's always special when you have somebody, when you have a sister, like you have somebody from home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's really, really awesome. When's the last time you've been to Rochester?
Maybe 2017, 2018. I went up to see Courtney and her family, the Harris family. I love them. and she lives in North Carolina now. So I'm just like, oh, I don't have my best friend anymore. So I haven't been back
Uh,
home.
shout out to Court. What's her last name now?
Harris Davis.
Davis.
Yep.
No, shout out to Courtney Harris Davis.
Yes.
Always a cool chick. Always loved her too. We perhaps had the dopest collection of girls, senior class ever, probably. I
I
would
shall
put,
agree.
huh?
I shall agree.
Yeah, I think I went to a reunion some years back, and a lot of the girls were there, and I took a picture of all of them together, and I got them in a scrapbook, and I'm like, yo, perhaps we probably have had the dopest senior class of girls ever in high school history.
Yeah, we
I'm gonna
have fun.
stand by that. Hmm?
I say, yeah, we have fun. And I still say we plan a mini reunion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, I thank you for coming on the show. You have been awesome, and I look forward to having you on in the near future.
Yes,
Um,
I'll be
I
back.
can't wait to see what's gonna be. It'll probably be like it'll probably be 10 million sold by the, the next time we have on there, like straight up
Fingers
diamond.
crossed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I
So again,
appreciate you. Like I said, I appreciate the platform, what you're doing. Thank you for inviting all your Rochester homies that you see value in on the show.
absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, you have an awesome night and an awesome weekend. And again, I wish many blessings. I wish many blessings on everything that you have going on. Um, the music, the business, launching the business, everybody that you come into contact with, may they have, something to offer. Um, that's it.
All right. I appreciate you, Mike.
No problem.
Have a good one.
You too. So there you have it. Another great interview done with my sister, Kristi Hughes. Um, I learned a lot. I hope you guys did too. Um, I always encourage anybody who has a vision, who is led to start a business or start any type of movement. It doesn't even have to be a vision. I mean, a business. It can be a, nonprofit or I don't know, giving food to the homeless, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is the time, this is the moment to step into that thing that you're being led to do, the thing that keeps you up at night, the thing that you daydream about. It's time to walk in it because it's time. No, never before that I know of in history has it been more important to to do something than it is now. It's time to do something. It's time to make impact. It's time to um, be an example, be an alternative, be the difference. It's that time and that moment. And so I encourage and implore you all to walk in whatever vision you have, whatever plan you have, whatever movement, again, like I said, whatever movement you aspire to be in. Or, what I'm saying, if it's something that's already running and you just want to be a part of it, what I'm saying, do that. What I'm saying? If you have a friend who has a business or a movement that they're starting and you just want to be a blessing or you want to sow, this is the time. What I'm saying? Impact. It's about impact, being effective, affecting your community and the culture in a positive way to give, particularly our youth, the opportunity to see something different so they don't feel that doing things in a negative way or taking from others and is the only way to go. Um, you have the opportunity to show them there is another way. What I'm saying? There's a better way. Um, And Let's Take a Walk for me is kind of like my contribution to that, as great or as small as it may be, depending on who's looking at it. Um, but that's all I got to say about that. I thank God for all of you guys, and I appreciate you coming out, taking the time, because I know you could have been a zillion other places, but you're here with me. Shout out to Jay-Z. But thank you. I appreciate you. God bless you.